Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to Low Fuel Motorsport. It's round number 5 of the Nitro Concepts Contender Series. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. It is my pleasure to be here to take you through all of the action this evening around one of the finest courses to ever exist. It is Laguna, Seca. Absolutely cannot wait for this one. We've got a packed grid this evening already. And of course, as I say, it is round... it's round number 5. We've had Red Bull Ring, Watkins Glen, Fuji and Sebring so far. My beloved Spa next time out. I'm seriously looking forward to that one, given the grid that we've got. And of course, the final 2 courses still to be decided. Each week the drivers will be vying for 150 points first place. It will be a private qualifying session, 10 minutes. Which is just starting. 2 laps the drivers will have. It'll be a 60-minute race with 1 mandatory stop. Well, it definitely will be mandatory. They will need the fuel, as we can see on the right hand side, the fuel tank for each car. The Fords with 67%, the lowest on the grid. Of course, the Ferraris and the Porsches, 65% for the Audi, 66% for the McLarens and the Mercedes. And what is it they're playing for? That's right, after the 8 weeks, the overall winners will receive the F Pro Blue Racing Wheel from Cube Controls. What a piece of kit that is. And of course, Acetec Sim Sports with the Pagani R pedals as well, not too shabby. And a £500 Camus voucher for P3. So definitely worth playing for. Going into tonight's round after 4 have been done. It is Castrop that is leading the way on 579 points, only 6 points ahead of Vasquez. Haas in 3rd place, only 3 points behind. They've got 11 points separated them from Perhonen. And of course, the one really to watch there in the top 10, Nicholas Labiche, he has a race win as well. 4 different winners over each of the races. I was just supposed to show you how closely contested these races are. The drivers, as I said, have 10 minutes to qualify, effectively 2 laps. Let me just check that audio. Yeah, we seem to be okay. So the driver's out at the moment, getting those tyres warmed up around Laguna Seca. What a track this one is. It is beloved by all. An accidental build out in the middle of the desert. Of course, never done a 24-hour race here because no floodlight, no electricity, I think. From what I've heard, there's barely any internet that far out. It's 2.2 miles long, and it has, of course, that corner, the corkscrew, the dip and grip, as I like to call it. Hang on firmly to your wheel, or you will find yourself off into the desert doing some sightseeing. Some beautiful sights to see, but certainly not when you're trying to win a race. There is the pit lane on the left, of course, as infamous as the corkscrew, the pit exit, a very stiff left-hander through turn 2 here, the Andretti hairpin, and you can see it on the inside. It'll be interesting to see as and when the drivers elect to come in. There we go. Technology with a mind of its own. Yeah, but as you can see, very strong field this evening. 30 drivers, I believe, taking part. Oh, there we go. A couple of the liveries just making their way in. Some very quick times, as you would expect, in the practice session as we were warming up the drivers. Carrying on where they left off there. Bosga at the minute with a 1 minute 20.6. He's 4 tenths quicker in the early exchanges. Viewers is in second, was Rozier in third place, and you can see Kessel half a tenth of a second behind, so it's ridiculously close as you would expect. Let me just make sure that is coming through very loud at the moment, so just turn that down a little bit. Yeah, so more times coming in. The drivers 2 laps they've got as they, as I say, vie out for some absolutely incredible prizes. The steering wheel up for P1, not too shabby a piece of kit. Massive thank you to the sponsors for the prizes as well. And yeah, some definitely all on the line, as you can see. More times coming in. Rozier returns to the pits from 6th position. And there we go. Joaquim just coming around at the last corner in the Porsche, goes 17th. So 18 drivers at the time. There goes Perhonen, and Martins jumps up into 11th position. Staborski and Kessel separated by 7 thousandths of a second. The front row only separated by 17 hundredths, with Haas less than a tenth behind. We're on board with Mishka at the moment. Very tight, twisty track. Good fun, of course, as he pulls into the pits. The pit entrance, not the easiest either out there, it has to be said. There is Gunonzo Tasdalen. Missing a few things. Just making his way towards the Rahal Straight. Headlights on, that's more of a tyre warming exercise at the moment, it looks like. And you can see the drivers popping those headlights on. Nice and close to the curbs, as you would expect through there, through turn 4. Quick kink to the right hand side, and then into 5 and 6 for a Rahal Straight. It says straight, it's very much an uphill kink to the left under the very famous bridge. Gamble right on the edge, absolutely throws it in. Maybe should be on the other wheel for that to see how close to get to the sausage curb. This little kink or hump in the road just before the braking zone does make it extra interesting. Good rotation from the McLaren, right on the edge of the sand there, right on the edge of the curb. Throwing it through turn number 9 and down the hill. Turn 10 can certainly catch drivers out as well. That inside sausage definitely needs to be avoided during the race. Into the final corner. How far over on the green will he be? I want to the edge. Ringing every single millisecond he can out of it. Gamble crosses the line. And that was, no, there you go, he did say at a time, 16th position he finds himself in. Is still out setting a lap. Vasquez leading the way at the minute. Laubish, one of the race winners in the series so far, crosses the line. He's 14 hundredths behind Vasquez just as he pulls over. So we've missed that lap there. Absolute lap of the gods to get himself. The front 2 rows separated by 2/10 of a second. That looks like most of the drivers have got their laps done. We'll get the grid up in a moment. Do we still have? No, we do still have drivers. My apologies, jumped onto Scenic there. Castellan crosses the line. So he's not set his laps here. Yes, so we do have drivers with time on track. Love the liveries. There we go. Top 20 for Lightning McQueen. And yeah, those headlights are very much required at this point in time. Willer goes 25th. And his Ferrari just pulling through the Andretti hairpin, turns 2 and 3. A little bit of double tap on the throttle there. Katko still on a lap, so too is Perhonen. Now he's up in 17th position, and he has managed to find a bit of time. McLaren does sound very good indeed. Let's get some gyro cam. And he pulls into the pits, so he lost that time that he had, and into the pits he comes. So Lightning McQueen looking to set another time. Oh, Taz Dillon! Wow! Taz Dillon's just gone P1 by 0.06 of a second. The top 5 separated by less than a tenth and a half. Katko has just set a quicker time as well. He's promoted himself to 20th position at the expense of Zicklum. We should have the grid very shortly, but it is as close as you would expect for round number 5. There we go then. 1 minute 1 minute 20.564 for Taz Dillon in the 93. Vasquez in second. With Laubich and Bosga on row number 2. Then it's Haas and Kastrop with Viewers and Lenz on row number 4. Favre and Razier. 6:10 separating those two. Some very close times right through the field. I mean, the gap between row 2 is incredibly close. Styborski and Martins on row number 6. Sorry, Kessel and Styborski on row 6. It's Martins and Bischoff on row number 7. Molina and Seitz on row number 8. Gamble and Perron. Row 9, they've got the headlights on. It's a late night race. You'll love to see it. And 17th and 18th position respectively. And I think what we'll do, there we go. As you can see on row 10, Katko and Zicklum. Sorry, Winnie and Katko, 19th and 20th. Zicklum, Kasmiri in 21st and 22nd. Andonegua in 23rd with Metzner in 24th. Joaquim in 25th position. Willert and Misch in 26th and 27th. And joining Misch on row number 14 is Tiepkin with no either in 29th. And Robin Katzenberger bringing up the rear. The last 4 drivers not setting a time, but up at the top, there we go. It is absolutely as close as you would expect in a competition where the drivers are vying for those incredible prizes. Of course, the F Blue Pro steering wheel, the Pagani Huayra R pedals, I've brutalised that one, and the €500 voucher for Camus as well. They've been through the Red Bull Ring, Watkins Glen, Fuji and Sebring. Laguna Seca is what awaits them now, and of course the championship standings. Looking like that at the moment. We are about to see the race start. Oh, they're on their warm-up lap. Yeah, just getting that in check. Here we go. Again, yeah, quick look at the standings. We can see only 9 points separating the top 3. Nice and close at the halfway mark of the season. And with a solid 38-car field, round number 5 promises to be an absolute barn burner. 4 drivers not setting a time down at the back of the grid. It will be, and this is Wild Things livery, which I did not previously spot. 1 hour race for the whole season, and of course that one mandatory pit stop. even if it wasn't mandatory, they would have to come in for fuel. The largest allowance for Laubish in the Mustang, 67% of his fuel tank. The rest of the drivers languishing down as low as 64%, so they will be in at some point for fuel over the 1 hour. As and when they'll be doing that, we will definitely be keeping a keen eye. We'll be keeping a keen eye on turn number 2. Of course, turn 1, the kink to the left hand side, the pit lane on the left could see some action, as it often does in the opening lap of these races. Let's see if we can get a bit of a
green flag.
There is the green flags. It's foot down, it's flat out, and it's flying into turn number 1, and some movement in the background. Great start by Tisdale up at the front. Kistrop is about to drop a position as well into turn number 2. They've all successfully made it through turn number 1 very nicely indeed, side by side through the Andretti hairpin to go. Down at the back of the field, it's all single file. Katzelberger has made up. Willer and Eder in the pit lane, so they're going to be starting right from the back of the grid. We've got a proper look at the action here as we see Tisdale with a good start. Vasquez in second place, but Laubish up in the third position with Bosca in fourth place. Sven Ole Haas is now in fifth position. Kastrop falling into single file here. You can see just how close they are. Let us get ourselves a good look there from Kastrop. You can see, and you can actually hear the engines, how close they are as they head up the hill. Absolutely nose to tail between them on the opening lap, as close as it is. The qualifying timings would suggest there will be a bit of a gap there through the corkscrew. But certainly ahead, no gap for Tisdale, and Vasquez right under that rear spoiler as they look to finish lap number 1. Let me just quickly... there we go, so we can get a proper look exactly what's going on through the field. There's so much going on. Tisdale with a 4/10 gap. We can see down the field Tiepken, who started with no qualifying time, has made up a few positions. Zickler must have been involved in a bit of an incident. In fact, he was, and then he entered the pits. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, took a big contact right in the rear there, finds himself completely off track. That's not what you need in the opening exchanges. So big contact there. Staborski as well was involved in an incident. We'll see if we can catch a look at that in a moment, because it is getting close again up at the front. Tisdale was up by 4/10. It's now Vasquez really piling on the pressure into the corkscrew, and Laubish as well. He is no slouch. He has got the biggest fuel tank as well, and he's got a race win under his belt so far. Neither of the two ahead do, so this would be prime positioning for Laubish. Bosca in fourth position still with Haas and Kastrop, as you were in the top 6. Then it is Lenz who's made moves in the top 10 along with Rosier, up 2 positions at the expense of Ewers and Favre. Those two still inside the top 10, but Molina is not too far behind there. Kessel just cresting turn number 1 with Molina ahead. Puronen maybe not quite on it in qualifying. He's launched up 5 positions. He's been followed by Gamble and Beanie there. We can see Sykes holding on to his starting position incredibly through the field, and Marco Bischoff down in 19th position. He's dropped 5 in the opening lap, 2 laps. So not a good start. We can see there's Staborski down 10 as well. Willer back out of the pits. No Eder and Zickler still in there, so that could well be early retirements for those two. Vasquez has just set the fastest lap of the race on that previous lap there. He really has come to play. Tisdale and is not getting this all his own way up at the front. Incredibly close. You see Haas as well. He has a wonderful view of the battle going on ahead. I'm sure he would prefer if it was the battle going on behind. Right on the edge there. Love to see it. The track temperature will be low round in the last corner. Not as much of the AstroTurf used there by half. Certainly Bosca Almost got 4 wheels out there, he will need to be careful with that. A couple of drivers coming out of the pit, so early pit stops, given the size of the fuel tank. This could now be a 2-stop race for Joachim Katzenberger, Tiepken and Martins. Still on board with Haas, we've already in the lap number 4 of the 1 hour race reserve. Looking to take more position, but Lenz is giving himself a bit of a gap. Bit of a mistake there by Haas, and then the same mistake, just a millisecond. Couldn't quite get the grip to get the power down. You can see the car ahead just disappearing, and it is a Ferrari. So you can see light for light the difference in that all important corner exit speed. The Ferrari not quite getting the foot down there. Incredibly close as you would expect. Again, saying that quite a lot. Michael Seitz in the McLaren is closing in on winning. We've also got Metzner, who's already up 3 positions, involved in a phenomenal little battle here. In fact, we'll jump on there, the Wild Things racing driver, right on the back of Andaneglu. And he has got Miska just behind him as well. So this, again, another phenomenal battle going on. Oh, and he's in the sausage curve with the fight in the penultimate corner, and that is the one I was talking about, and that has dropped him right off the back of this. There's a whole lot going on there. Tisdalen's coming to the pits. The race leader, no he's not. Okay, my apologies, there we go. Not sure what happened there. I did say he'd come in at the pits, but not clearly not. Let's have a look back and see. Miska and Andanoglu. Oh, Miska's gone side by side, so despite hitting that sausage curve, he's got right back involved. Metzner now ahead of these two. And the Wild Things driver in the BMW now up 4 positions. Miska up 5. Andaneglu's made up positions as well with the 2 around. Certainly seem to be the predators in that little bunch of 3 cars. Gratuitous use of rear spoiler cap. Onto the Rahal straight. They call this the Rahal straight. Yep, nothing straight about it. Double crest before you jam on the brakes into the corkscrew. That BMW does sound gratuitously good. Back up at the front, it is still Tisdalen leading the way with Vasquez still in the 2nd position. The 2 of them all but inseparable and are coming up to traffic as well. Cars that have taken their pits. It could get interesting now. Laubitz is still ahead of Bosga and Haas. So this little group of 3 have made a breakaway as well. Kastrop now still in 6th position, but that is potentially coming under threat as Rennie Lenz is finding some very good pace indeed, and is most certainly hanging on to the slipstream there. So that is going to be one to watch. To Favre as well. Seems to be in full stocking. We've got Puers and Rozier, just ahead of him. Marco Bischoff has made back quite a few positions now, only down 3. He does have Lightning McQueen ahead of him. McQueen had a phenomenal start as well, up at 4 positions. With the pace of Bischoff, you think that might go down just ever so slightly. Bischoff with a difficult start. Just having a little look to see if I can see. Well, quite a few things have happened in the opening stages. I know either had a crash, Joachim Miska. Quite a few, I think. Try and find a lull in the race and have a look at some of those replays, but there's certainly no lull at the moment. Tisdalen is certainly no lull in the pressure that's been applied to him by Vasquez. These 2 absolutely nose to tail from the start of the race. Vasquez, Ferrari on Ferrari action right at the very front of the grid. Are managing to get themselves a bit of a gap back to Laubitz. He's holding 3rd position though at the moment. Oh, Bischoff did go past Katko, so he did get that overtake done as expected. See if we're going to see an overtake up the front. It's too close to take our eyes off these two. So close to those sausage curves. That is the difference. Wow. That, yeah, just incredible how close they get there, lap after lap after lap. Ultimate precision driving from the tail of the front, and that gap is now extended, and Haas has got past Bosca. So the top 5 seeing positional changes as well. Kastrop still holding on to 6th, but he's also got Lenz holding on firmly there as well in reserve. Is closing in, he's got Fury as well in his slipstream. So the top 10, all positions certainly in contention at the moment, but these two up at the front absolutely separating themselves from the rest of the group, and that gap is accurate. 0.2 of a second looks a lot closer. If objects in the rear view mirror appear closer than they are, I cannot imagine how close Vasquez looks at the moment in this Dylan's rear view mirror. Coming towards the half straight. Oh, and a slightly different line there by Vasquez. Is he potentially lining something up for turn number 10? Certainly will be anything tried through here. We're going to carry a bit more momentum. We can really get brave through here, but is it worth getting this brave this early if you're matching pace? If you're looking to win a championship, then yeah, probably. And that's why these drivers will be fighting for the championship. We'll have a quick run down the rest of the field, although that battle up the front incredibly close. We've still got this battle going on with Lenz, Rosier and Viewers, with Favre not far behind, and then a gap not too dissimilar from 2nd to 3rd. We see from 10 to 11th, Kessel 1.6 down. He has got Molina closing in. The next close battle that we've got going on, Manuel Seitz. At the moment, he is certainly in the sights of Marco Bischoff, who's just taking a position from Katko, but could well. It does look like be bringing Katko into the fight here as well with Seitz. So we'll see Katko cleverly craft himself a position with the help of Bischoff, who is definitely quicker than these two. Casimiri a bit down the field. We've got Martins as well, 10 positions down on the start. Has taken his pit stop as well, I believe, so yeah, could be one to watch in the latter stages of the race. We've got Willer, Katzenberger, Zicklam and Eder all retiring to the very early in the race. Let's see how close the top 2 are. 0.4 of a second, a gargantuan gap, all things considered, in the opening 9 laps. That is as big as it's been. The front tyres of Vasquez are going to start squealing a lot sooner than Tasdale's. Haas is looking to get himself up into 3rd position. He's had a good start to the race. Oh, and that's a bit of a run right from the Mustang. He's left the door open. He's really opened the corner up there. My apologies. He opened the corner up to carry through as much speed as he could, and he absolutely nailed that there. All the momentum through and managed to fend off Bosca. But for how long can he fend them off? He's looking. Sorry, my apologies. Not Bosca, Haas. Yeah, but it's Sven Ollie Haas. My apologies. Who is in the Ferrari looking for that overtake on Laubitsch. Now that's how close it is. Viewers, Rosier and Lenz still dueling out. Favre as well, that top 10 ridiculously close. 4 seconds down for the battle on Kastrop. Laubitsch looking to maybe use the cars behind, try and catch up to the 2 ahead, who are still, are back to within 0.3 of a second. Vasquez losing pace ever so slightly for half a lap, and finding it all at once. Again, Gunonzo Tasdalen still leading the way. I'm not sure how comfortable a lead it has been, although I'm saying that from my perspective. It is, I'm not what you think I am, you're what you think I am, not going to put our own perspective. Certainly for myself, I'd rather be the hunter than the hunted. Some drivers either don't care, don't mind, or prefer being the hunted car, and Tasdalen at the minute has not put a foot wrong. It's all been about Vasquez trying to find that time. You can see podium battle in the background. Turn at number 4, he's gone up the inside there. Haas trying to take the position, and they're battling away for it, and has he got it done? Oh, they're side by side, and it is the Mustang that is still in the lead. They're coming battling back into turn number 5. He's gone for the outside. Oh, and was that a double defensive move there? That did look very close to moving back across the line there. It was not the best angle for us, so obviously we will reserve judgment. And let's see what the stewards have, if the stewards have got anything to say about that, but certainly from that angle, it looked like 1 and then 2, but Bosca, certainly the one that's benefited from that. He now finds himself right back on the back of Haas Houbis, now 2.3 seconds down, so as close as these two are, they are in no way, shape or form impeding their breakaway on the, or if they are, it's frightening to think how much pace the two of them would have if they were to be quicker on their own, but certainly the two cars in the slipstream, the car in front goes that bit quicker as well, and these two, that gap now over 2 seconds, while never being further apart than 5/10 of a second. It's pretty close. Bosca still on the back door of Haas. Big changes coming there. Metzner coming out of the pits, so more cars coming in. Only 15 minutes into the race. Marco Bischoff is now only 1 position down Metzner and Styborski. Pulling into the pits, there is the car race. Tyres will be changed, fuel will be added. An absolute eternity for the drivers to wait. Styborski in there as well, the two at the top. Still out, still with a 2.2 second gap. Oh, viewers. Really is getting very close indeed to Rozier. He's certainly had plenty of time to eye him up in the M&M's machine. Can't quite see the M&M's yet. Certainly into the final 2 corners, right on the edge. Slightly more sparing there, he wasn't close. Metzner and Styborski both exiting the pits, Martin and Tiemkin as well. So the drivers flooded their way into the pits early doors. I did think they might see a few of them take those pits that little bit later, but not to be at the moment. Is that too loud? Oh, sorry, the audio was just peaking there just slightly. Still watching viewers, solid battles in the top 10, the top 2. Still within 2/10, no quarter given nor asked by either driver. Marco Bischoff certainly in the same boat. Solid gaggle of McLarens in the mid-pack, and this is bang on the mid-pack. Perhonen's made it up 4, but Bischoff does like taking back some of those places as well. You see Mischke up 9 spots. Yeah, so it's Metzner that is leading the way out of the drivers that have taken their pit stops. I'm sure we're going to see quite a few more, or will we see more come in? I didn't quite expect to see so many in that early, if I'm honest. A bit of light flashing there to distract. Oh, and it's changing position, it's changing hands up at the front. Oh, connection issue. Okay, so yep, car just temporarily disconnected from the server. So there wasn't an overtake there, I believe. So Vasquez still in second, still within 2/10 of a second. Joaquim Winnie and Denoglu coming in to take his pit stop. Metzner, of course, back out. Winnie and Joaquim back out as well. The other battle is looking for, yeah, Bischoff. He's got himself past. Yeah, so he's still got himself past sights. He has still got his sights firmly on Perhonen ahead of him. Perhonen, though, is definitely on the tail of Gamble as well. They've got Molina a bit up the road from them. I'm sure they'll be keen to fend them off and just let them battle away behind, let him get a few more laps under his belt. As viewers, again, the M&M machine. More positions changing down at the bottom. That is, yeah, pit stops. Martins, Meany and McKean Catco coming in to the pits. We'll pop this up again. So we can see Tasdelen, he is still in the lead by 0.2 of a second. Laubich has stemmed the flow though. The gap now, the gap still at 2.2 seconds. So over the last 6 laps, Laubich has now matched these two for pace. He's still got Haas pressing the button, so potentially getting a bit more comfortable with Haas behind him. And yeah, that gap 2.1 over the first 9 laps, it stretched out to 2.2 seconds, and it stayed there over the last 6. So Laubich, a race winner in the series already, starting to find some race winning pace as well. Potentially Haas and Oscar still got a keen eye as Kastrop finds himself 6th place, but 4 seconds down. Does have a healthy 2.8 second gap back to Lons. Certainly the same can't be said for Lons himself. As you can see, quite a few cars, 3 in fact, still chasing him. Reserve viewers and Favre. Solid battle inside the top 10. Casimiri on his way out of the pits. Metzner for Wild Things in 23rd position. Seems to be leading the way of the drivers that have taken a pit stop. Lyons is still holding on to 7th through turn number 1, heavy on the brakes into the Andretti hairpin. How close can Rozier get? Ferraris versus McLarens, and then a whole gamble of McLarens there battling ways. The 2 Ferraris up at the top, totally inseparable. 0.3 of a second, but Laubich now, that gap down, oh no, God, sorry, just gone back up to 2.1. So it's yeah, an absolute game of cat and mouse at the minute between the top 5 drivers. As we can see, Bozga, he's got the window wipers on to try and cut his way through the air, maybe be a bit more aerodynamic. He is down 1 as Haas has gone past him, but still got a keen eye on that battle and can still see the race lead as well. The pit stop to take, still very much in the hunt, and yeah, won't be looking over his shoulder with that 4.4 second gap back to Kastrop. Following the chat, thank you very much, Titans Endurance Racing. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome along to LFM round number 5 of the Nitro Concept Contender Series, season number 1. Some absolutely incredible racing so far. A few more cars popping the way into the pit. Still got that mandatory stop to take up at the top of the field, where it is still the inseparable duo of Tasdelen and Vasquez. These two could well get a separation anxiety when the race is over. It is so close between the two of them. In fact, he's almost gone side by side. He really is sizing this one up down through the corkscrew. That's so close once again. Tasdelen is still in the lead somehow with Haas looking very quick once again. He's caught right back up onto the back of Laubich, who is still not losing any time. Now the two ahead, and in fact he's got the gap to under 2 seconds, just on the 2 second mark. So that was still brilliant. Marco Bischoff right in the thick of things with Perhonen. It's so close between these drivers. Miska almost missed this one here. An absolute 5-way battle, extremely diminished visibility for the drivers. Those headlights absolutely essential. Yeah, not much in the way of sponsors, logos on display, given a target as you can see across the start post line. Oh, that does sound absolutely incredible. Through turn number 1, a solid train of cars. We're gratuitously going to jump on the front right. Oh, there we go. It's side by side through turns 2 and 3. Verhonen, Gamble and Molina all getting themselves involved. Marco Bischoff looking to take back another position. Oh, he's rattled that inside sausage curve, and he's managed to hang on to it. The McLaren unbelievably forgiving there. He shies away from it through turn number 4. Quite unsurprisingly there. Marco Bischoff's hard work almost very nearly undone with one sausage curve alone. And given the multitude of killer sausages there is at Laguna Seca, it really does only take one lapse in judgment at any point in the lap, and you can see everything go into the shadow realm, quite literally here at night. Tasdalen and Vasquez seem to be swapping positions again. If that's a... Oh no, they are. They've gone side by side. They are absolutely side by side through turn 1 and into turns 2 and 3. Is he going to go for the cutback, or is Tasdalen going to be able to defend this? He's tried to get the car onto the inside line, couldn't quite get the run out of the back of it there. So close between the two of them. Let's have a quick look. I am determined to get that to work. There we go. So into turn number 1, quite literally over the start finish line. It's front wheel to back wheel, and he's got so much grip out of the last corner at the end of turns 2 and 3. Really did have Tasdalen thinking, where is he going? And he's managed to hold on to it as Tasdalen. But Vasquez certainly looking quick. He is not just there to bring home a second place, he is looking for the race win. Absolutely sizing Tasdalen up lap after lap. Bischoff has made his way past Gamble. It's all going on. Bischoff back to where he started. An absolutely intrepid drive by Bischoff, then back up to 14th position. We can get a quick look at this one, as you can see. Oh, very nicely done. Yeah, very nicely done. Just a lot more grip through turn at number 4 and on the exit, on the straight. He's run away with that one onto the Rahal straight, and he's thrown the car behind absolutely to the wheels. And left that battle to rage on behind. Oh, and I think have we... No, we've not. Laubich coming under pressure, but he has held on to the position, or is he holding on to the position? He looks like he might only have one hand on it at the minute, as Haas has one hand on that third spot as well. There is Bosca going to be the fly in the ointment for both of these drivers. I have said this a few times in my commentary exploits. There's often the third car in the train that is the best position in these scenarios. Can he follow Haas through? Capitalise on an error made by either of these drivers, as Laubich defends, Haas defending and attacking at the same time. Viewers and reserves still all over the back of Lenz, although Favre now dropping time to them. He's 1.4 seconds down. So a couple of gaps opening up there. We've had a few more drivers make their way into the pit sites, and Mishka both in ahead of Metzner. Sites down a few positions, but with a few more pit stops to take, he'll gain them back. But Mishka and Metzner gaining positions before the pit stop's done. That does bode well for the overall finish if they can survive. Kakmore's work, if they can survive another 33 minutes of Laguna Seca in the dark. Very little in the way of artificial light for the drivers out here in the desert. There is Metzner in 21st. That's how quick the race leaders are going. The only real light we'll get is on the start finish straight from the pit lanes. Very little, as I say, in the way of lighting. Heading onto the Rahal straight again. Vasquez, he is, it's Ferrari versus Ferrari. It's alien versus alien. And it doesn't matter where. Yeah, Vasquez does seem to find time here and there out of certain corners, but it's never at a corner where Tasdalen is going to lose the position. He just can't craft out the overtake, because it's into corners where overtaking is nigh on impossible. And the risk to reward ratio, do you risk a second place, end up taking both of you out this early in the race? I don't think so. And neither does Vasquez, but if the opportunity does present itself, he will be right in there through turn 1 again. A tenth of a second now separating him. He's not quite going to be quick enough to get side by side this time, but he is so close to the slipstream of the car ahead. Let's see, we have... Yeah, let's jump on here. I thought you would be able to see the front splitter. Unfortunately, that's not quite there. Here we go. much better audio from there. Let's enjoy a lap with these two up at the top. We're 22 laps in, and there hasn't been more than 5/10 of a second between two drivers that qualified within half a tenth of one another versus the rest of the field. Although there's a waxing lyrical about these two. Let us not forget Nicholas Laubitz. Yeah, I have mentioned a couple of times he's won a race this series already, and that 2.2 second gap that the race leaders have crafted out has absolutely diminished. It's now down to less than a second. Yeah, clearly I need to be paying a bit more attention. So a two-way fight. Oh, and Vasquez is coming to the pits. Vasquez has come into the pits. Let's see what the rest of the top four do. Top five, do on the next lap now. Yeah, could that be the ultimate strategy there? Because Laubitz within a second, and he is bringing Haas and Bosca with him. Castro still a few seconds down. Oh, they're going side by side. Laubitz, he's about to lose the position. Oh no, sorry, he's gaining. No, yes, he's losing the position because Tasdalen is out. Oh no, yes, so he has, he's lost. Oh, he's down in the third. It's Laubitz who is defending as Haas in the Ferrari tries to go round the outside, but Laubitz has held on to it. Oh no, has he no, because Haas has gone back up the inside on the way through turn at number 5, and there's two wheels on the gravel for Laubitz in the Mustang. Is that going to be enough for the Ferrari to get ahead? It is indeed. It is Haas in the Ferrari up into second place. Laubitz now in third position once again, but it is with Haas ahead of him. Let's see if they come into the pit. Tasdalen instantly up to 2 seconds as these three cars behind battle. Bosca not able to capitalise. I got myself all lost in the dark there with the headlights. Fun times, but phenomenal action from these drivers. I mean, if it's hard for us to keep track with the liveries and which cars which in the dark, could you imagine how hard it is for the drivers out there? Last minute brake lights popping up, the track absolutely creeping out of nowhere with the undulations and the shadows that are created. As you can see there, the light just completely disappeared through the Andretti hairpin. All the light afforded to you by the car behind disappears temporarily. None of them came into the pits. Tasdalen, Haas, Laubitz, Bosca all stayed out. So no reply to second place coming in. We'll see how much longer they stay out for. You can see Lenz is taking that pit stop. Vasquez comes back out in 12th position. And yeah, he's got a couple of cars front and back. He's got a 2-car gap back to Lenz and Verhoeven, who's just been overtaken by Winnie. Sorry. Seitz is going to take a couple of positions back as well. We've got a few cars that looks like they've retired early. There are 21 cars out on track. Tasdalen is still the race leader as we've reached and breached the halfway mark. The Ferrari is still out and running. Haas up to second place overall. Second place on track. And yeah, I would say bare minimum third place given how close Vasquez was to Tasdalen when he came into the pits. That gap back down to 1.8 seconds. Bosca now the closer out of these two drivers, although as I say that, the Mustang motors back into the slipstream. There comes Kessel into the pits from inside the top 10. So 33 minutes of running for Kessel so far. We've seen cars coming in as early as 15 minutes into the race. So keeping it nice and spicy as far as the pit strategies go. Tasdalen doing some good running up at the front of the field, but Haas is managing to close that gap, or certainly manage it. Tasdalen staying out for, 22 laps. Vasquez right under his rear spoiler and side by side with him at moments as well. But he's more than held his nerve up at the front, putting in some very good laps now, and stays out once again. Has Vasquez made a mistake, or is the Uber undercut going to play out for him? Haas has stayed out as well, so the rest of the top 5 Definitely on a different strategy from the car in P2. We'll see who it plays out for better. Down at the back of the grid at the moment is Julian Metzner. The Wild Things racing driver, 21st position. Quite a few retirees in the pits, with Casmiri in 20th position, taking a pit stop. So we'll see a few positions gained potentially by some of these car sites. We're certainly up in the top 15. So that's likely Perhonen as well. Up a position at the moment, not in the lead lap though, but of course the pit stop will sort that one out. Tom Winnie up 3 with Kessel, back at the pits in 15th position, behind once again Lawrence, and that is Dominic Catco, Lightning McQueen. Oh, is that Tasdale coming into the pits? No, it's not. It just popped through there, I'm not sure why that said that, but it's not Tasdale coming into the pits. Because he's coming through the corkscrew. 1.5 seconds, so Haas has found 2/10 on the race leader and is finding a bit of time on Laubitsch, although that could be because Bozga is getting very, very close to Laubitsch. Laubitsch could well be on defensive duties. This is played beautifully into the hands of Haas. Oh, so close at the turn 2 and 3 there, almost a concertina effect. As the blue flag. Both cars able to hit that sausage on the inside because they're not quite up to speed. The Ferrari really does handle the sausages quite well. That certainly, as a Ferrari driver, that would not be me dipping those wheels that far on. Bozga though, he is looking for an on-track bogey on Vasquez. Still got himself a bit of clear track. He's got 5 seconds Molina ahead of him. Gamble is 6 seconds behind. So he will be looking to put in some absolutely solid laps now at the minute. And I wonder what's going through his head now. The rest of the top 5 haven't taken their pit stop. Fjords and Razier. Oh, now Bozga, has he capitalised on a mistake there? And I tell you what, Laubitsch really opened up the corner. Oh, and he's pulled into the pits. So that was a setup for a pit entry there. And Laubitsch... Oh no, he didn't come into the pits, my apologies. He did come into the pits, he just swung over. And it looked like he did. Oh, and it's gone full send up the inside. Is the Ferrari going to make this one stick? Laubitsch is on the outside line. He's going to have more grip of Bozga. He's going to have a bit more bravery into turn number 4. Not quite able to pull off, and the car's too close to try and get the cutback. He's surely not going to go into turn number 4 now, is he? No, he's not, but very close between these two. Let me just have a look and see if we can. I know that one didn't quite come up there, but yeah, Laubitsch and Bozga now putting on a full-on battle, and again playing right into the hands of Haas. He's apparently driven incredibly patiently so far, sized up that overtake, got it done when he could, and is now opening up a big gap thanks to the battle between these two cars on screen. They just make their way past Senior Lightning McQueen as Tasdale moving like absolute lightning, but so too Haas. These two now a tenth closer than they were. Coming down the last corner once again, Tasdale staying out, Haas staying out, Laubitsch stays out as well, and Bozga has come into the pits there with Goldie Timing Tower giving us the truth for once. We've got Bozga pulling in to take his mandatory stop. Viewers, Razier all stay out. That's going to put Razier up into 5th position. Vasquez in 10th, so we'll see where Vasquez is. He's coming around the last corner and he is crossing the start-finish line, so comfortably ahead of at least one of those top 4 drivers now. Miska, Katsko, Kazmiri and Metzner 18, 19, 20th at the minute, but Kazmiri is getting close to Katko. Oh yeah, a few of them coming through the pit. Sorry, Bishov and Miska. Let's just pop this back on and see. where the pitted drivers are. Vodka confirmed back out behind Vasquez, but not too far, 3.6 seconds. Vasquez back inside the top 10. Tasdalen has come into the pits. The race leader definitely in the pit lane. That will give Haas the on-track lead. Tasdalen in. Let's see where Vasquez is. He is in the dark. He certainly won't be in the dark as to where his opponent is. He is in the pits. He's coming through the final couple of corners, and Vasquez, has he pulled an absolute worldie here? He's on the heavy braking zone into the final corner. Round at the last corner he goes, and there is Tasdalen completely. Oh no, he's just moving now. He's just moving now. There goes Vasquez. Vasquez is in the lead. He's got the Uber undercut, and what an undercut that is. He came into the pits from a 10th and a half behind the race leader, and it is a quick curve out of the final, out of the pit lane, as I said. And there is Tasdalen. He is back out, and Vasquez knew the other top 5 will now potentially be ruining that decision, because that is a big gap. Vasquez, his tyres will be nice and warm, and that will be a big smile, I am sure. That is massively worked in his favour, from 2/10 behind to 2.5 seconds in the lead. That right there is a pit stop strategy, ladies and gentlemen. 40 minutes into the race, and it is Vasquez who is the net leader. Haas and Laubich both coming into the pits. It's Haas ahead of Laubich. Kastrop stays out. So a few of the drivers staying out. We've had that on for a bit of a while now. I apologise. We'll pop that off for the moment. Vasquez is in the lead. Tasdalen is in second place. Bozka not far behind. The way that's worked out as well, with the pace he's got, he is back in. He's only 1.1 seconds behind Tasdalen. Oh, it's about to get very interesting, as if it wasn't interesting enough already. Let's go. Eureka Kastrop is our on-track leader with Favre in second, but it is Aaron Vasquez who is net leader of the race. Pitted 6 or 7 laps earlier than the rest of the top 5, and that has massively worked in his favour. Haas is ahead of Tasdalen. He is. Haas is taking his pit stop, and not only has Vasquez had a worldie of a pit strategy, Sven-Ole Haas has had a worldie of a pit stop, and Tasdalen must have had an absolute nightmare in the pits. Because he is now behind Haas. Haas was 1.5 seconds behind when he came into the pit. So here's me keeping an eye on whether Tasdalen or Vasquez will be leading the race. The podium positions have entirely changed, as Sven-Ole Haas is now net second position. What an incredible drive, and it's about to iron itself out. As Haas and Tasdalen, the teammates, it's team bragging rights between the virtual racing drivers. The virtual core, they've got the same livery at least. With Vasquez now confirmed race leader. Let's go pit stop strategies. And in fact, I think we can have a look at the pit time. So Tasdalen 14 seconds, Boskin Laubich 12.8, Haas 13.9, so he's only half a second quicker through the pits. Absolutely incredible. There's positions changing down the order as well. There's Gamble and Mishka. Let's have another look up at the front though, because Vasquez, let's just confirm this, 43 minutes gone. It's Vasquez leading the way, Haas in second position, Tasdalen in third, Bozka in fourth place. For a Ferrari fan, it's an absolute dream. Laubich now finds himself in fifth position, down to he held firmly onto that third place for such a huge part of the race. Now finds himself in fifth, followed by Kastrop and Rier, who have held on to their top 10 positions along with Viewers and Lens. Favre still rounding out the top 10. But down one overall position. Razier and Haas, the two big gainers, in the top 10. Kessel, now that the pit stops are starting to iron themselves out, he's in 11th position. Right on the back of Favre though, so could be an overtake brewing there. Molina a bit down the road, he's got Perronin not too far behind Seitz, and Bischoff just behind. Bischoff back down a neck position on where he started after the pit stops, but he is close to Seitz. Kessel and Favre have swapped positions. That is a good run by Molina, but it was Favre that I was looking for, and yeah, they two have swapped positions. So that is Kessel now back inside the top 10. The gap up at the top is remaining about a second a car, although Vasquez 2.2 seconds ahead as Sven Ole Haas with the fastest lap of the race in second position. Absolutely incredible, 1 minute 20.86. He's just set there. 1 minute 20.86. Just to make sure we get that one across. Very quick race pace in the second stint. Got 15 minutes left to try and encroach on the gap that Vasquez has afforded himself. As smooth as you like through the pits, he's got that strategy absolutely bang on. Came in early, went for the Uber undercut, nailed the Uber undercut, got himself the lead of the race. And yeah, I think we'll have a quick look. Now we can see with him currently in second place in the championship, and Castro finding himself in 6th place. Is going to be a bit of a change in the championship standings. That was away, my apologies. A bit of a change in the championship standings come the end of the race and heading into 60 minutes of Spa. Absolutely love that course, so cannot wait for next week. But we've still got 15 minutes to decide this week's race, of course. We're on board with the race leader. It's all getting spicy once again though. In the podium area, Bosga on the back of Tisdale and Vlahovic, not far behind either viewers, within half a second, and Marco Bischoff looking for another overtake as well. Down through the corkscrew, looking to get that 14th place back. Where he started. Miska as well, qualifying time I believe for Miska. Up 10 spots, so a good solid race, head down under the radar. And get the job done. You can see Bischoff round at the last corner, making the way past one of the blue flags. That's a bit big, apologies. Bischoff closing in on Seitz, Perronin not too far ahead of them either. Viewers closing in, Bosga and Vlahovic, closing right up on Tisdale and Vasquez. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yep, popped up he's coming in the pits. He's definitely not coming in at the pits again. These two are starting to break away from the cars behind them. Tisdale certainly starting to feel the heat of the radiator in front of Bosga's Ferrari. Across the start finish line, 36 laps under their belt with 48 minutes in. 12 minutes to go, and that is quite a few laps here when you're doing 1 minute low, 1 minute 21, so lap on lap. Tisdale leading right up till he came into the pits. He comes out, finds himself in net second, and then Haas pops out the pits as well. So all about the strategy and the drive. Let's see Vlahovic in the background of Bosga. He is really coming to life in the second half of the race as he's come out the pits. Looking to take back some of these positions. Does he have enough time to get himself back onto the podium? Does he certainly starting to not run away with it. He's putting a bit of a gap between them now. Although I'm saying that, it's absolutely not. The gap's gone from 8 tenths down to 6 tenths. So they are still getting closer. Loudwich on the back of Bosca. Kasmiri with a second trip into the pits. Oh, and Loudwich is in one of the sausage curbs through turn number 10. Let's have a quick look at that. As you can see, turn number 10, two wheels, the right hand wheels of the car absolutely in the air there. Not what Loudwich needed, completely applying the pressure and making himself a monster of a mistake, and Bosca capitalised on the clear rear spoiler and try and get ahead of Tasdalen now. He'll be fully focused on third place. Tasdalen, he's got 3 seconds now to make up the Haas, so it's all about holding on to third at this point, unless one of the top two makes some kind of mistake. Haas hasn't put a foot wrong. Spent quite a while behind the Mustang, more than patient it would seem, because now that he's got himself ahead and out of the pits, very quick laps going in the final, in the closing stages. Now in the last 10 minutes, that is the quickest 50 minutes of racing in history. Oh, Favre and Kessel looking to keep things spicy in the top 10. They've already swapped positions since coming out of the pits. Favre looking to get that spot back in the top 10 if he can. We've also got Pirhonen and Bischoff. Although just as I say that, Pirhonen, that gap jumped up to a second, so potentially went for a move there, not quite able to pull off. Now finds himself under pressure from Bischoff, who did get himself back up to 14th position. So that has been a good drive. More follows in the chat. Shogun Samurai, thank you very much, and Kirillo RS as well. Thank you both for the follows here at LFM. It's round number 5 of the Nitro Concepts Contender Series Season 1. Some incredible prizes up for grabs and some incredible pit strategies to get the drivers up to the top of the championship. It's going to be all change at the top come the end of the race if it stays as is. We will potentially have some interviews as well at the end. Sorry, prep by jumping in there for that. We're watching Favre at the moment, of course, viewers and Razier. These two still close inside the top 10, so that battle reigniting Bosca. Still within 7 tenths of Tasdalen. He will be ruining that pit strategy potentially. Marco Bischoff looking to make a net gain in the race. That'll be quite the comeback drive if he manages to pull this one off. We've got a couple of cars, never mind, who have retired. So it is Zickler in the Lamborghini, and I promise that is a Lamborghini. And a very dark Laguna Seca. Metzner ahead in 21st with Kasmiri back at the pits in 20th position. Winnie in 19th with Lightning McQueen. Dominic Katko up 2 spots overall. Leon Mishkino up 10 places from the start. 17th position, a phenomenal gain in points. Henry Gamble in 16th place with Seitz in 15th. Marco Bischoff still battling for 13th, but at the moment is in 14th place. I'm not sure that has been changes up at the top. Some kind of weird timing glitch through the third sector, it would appear. Molina in 12th place at the moment, with Favre and Kessel dueling over 10th place. Favre in 11th at the moment. Kessel the lead at McLaren out with these two. They are chasing down the Ferraro duo of Lenz and Viewers 9th and 8th respectively. These two chasing down a couple of McLarens, Razier and Kastrop. Got good gaps front and back. I mean, I'd imagine they'd like to be a bit closer to the cars ahead, but certainly not much in the way of traffic behind. And then it is the top 5. What a titanic battle it's been between these 5 for position. Laubitz finding himself at the moment in 5th place. Now with Bosca still in 8/10 of a second behind us. Still we've got Molina coming in to the pits. I believe that is for the 2nd pit stop. Yeah, Metzner's been in twice as well, but Molina that already been in and in the pit lane, so that would be a 2nd stop. There we go. Bischoff. Still trying to get his way past Verhoeven. Oh no. Yeah, no, the race the race hasn't changed. The race lead hasn't changed hands. It's still Vasquez leading the way from Haas. 2.7 seconds now is that gap. What a drive by Haas, and what a strategy as well. That top 5 battle, they were right on top of one another. Vasquez comes into the pits and manages to secure the race lead on the way out, and it is solidly secured at the minute. Less than 5 minutes to go for this one, and Vasquez 2.6 seconds ahead. Haas has gone even quicker, wasn't it? 20.78. So about another 10th of a second. Haas has managed to find for the fastest lap, but it is still Vasquez, clearly the more consistent of the two. And even that is on it. I say clearly the most consistent. There must be a minimal percentage between the consistency of the two, because Haas is clocking slightly quicker laps, and Vasquez is still holding on to that lead, so it is just an absolute minuscule difference between the two of them as Haas rounds the last corner. 42 laps successfully completed. Bosca still behind this deal with Laubitz still in the top 5, but that 5th place I'm sure won't feel anywhere as pleasurable as the 3rd place that he started in. Yeah, there we go. Kastrop in the top 5. It's not going to be enough to hold on to the championship lead going into Spa. That is going to be a tricky one. Kastrop really is going to need to find some pace around Spa. He's going to charge back up into the top 3 of the championship. Only 9 points separating the top 3. 3 points between the points allocation for 1st and 2nd, and so on and so forth. The top 50 drivers, of course, scoring points. Well, there's going to be a fair bit of a difference between Vasquez and Kastrop, and it is those two that are leading the championship. Sven Ole Haas in 3rd place, so he is going to go past Kastrop as well. So yeah, and the McLarens are pretty good at Spa. They're absolutely going to need to be. I've got another follow cycle. Thank you very much for the follow. Absolute flag to lights. Or lights to flag action through the race. So much to unpack through this one. Raziers and viewers still battling inside the top 10 for all important points. Of course, the drivers, more than just pride on the line. The top 3 drivers over the 8 races. No drop rounds in the scoring either. But over the 8 races, the champion will receive that beautiful steering wheel from Cube Control. Sorry, the F Blue Pro, the F Pro Blue. My apologies, and of course the Pagani R pedals. Up for 2nd place, and a €500 Camus voucher for 3rd place in the championship. So everything, I mean, these strategies have been absolutely on point, and that is exactly why. With so much on the line for the drivers. We've got 1 minute 17 seconds left to go as Vasquez rounds the last corner. He's got some blue flag traffic ahead. He's got Haas 1.7 seconds down the road. This will be the final lap, I believe, as Miska goes for an overtake on Gamble. Still overtaking action happening as Miska making up more places. What a drive it's been for Miska, up 12 spots over the race. Yeah, quite a few drives of note throughout the field. Bischoff did get a position. One of the cars ahead of the come into the pits, so this could be potentially 2 net positions he received if he can get this overtake done on Perhonen in the closing stages. Perhonen up 6 as well, but here is the race leader. Did I mention he had an amazing pit strategy? I'm not sure if I've covered that so far, but if I didn't, I really should have. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Came in between 6 to 8 laps sooner than everyone else, and that has propelled him into the lead of the race. He's got 1.4 seconds over Haas. What an incredible battle between these two. It's going to be in the standings as well. Round at the last corner though, Aaron Vasquez, 45 laps of perfection and a pit strategy of the gods. See Aaron Vasquez take himself the checkered flag and the win and the lead in the overall standings. It is Sven-Ole Haas with the fastest lap and second place, and Taz Dalen does hang on to a podium position. Not the one he would have been expecting at the start of the race. So Brodzka pulls into the pits in 5th place. Laubitz and Kazdrop crossing the line. We'll stay on board with Vasquez, who is kindly still out lapping as the rest of the field finish. So here's viewers, Lenz and Kessel all crossing the line to take the checkered flag. Marco Bischoff as well. He finished in 13th position, so 1 net spot. Didn't quite get that overtake at the end. But still back up 1 considering he was down 10. That is quite the drive. And of course Leon Miska take a bow. 12 positions in the race. Great drive from Leon, Molina and Gamble as well, making up spots. And of course Lightning McQueen crossing the line to take the checkered flag in the top 18. Tom Winnie sees the checkered flag as well as Kazmiri, Metzner and Zicklum. 7 cars finding themselves finishing in the pits, and it is the top 22 that will be bringing home the points. What a race that was there. Oh, that's qualifying results. And here are the race results as confirmed. Aaron Vasquez for Apex, the winner by 1.4 seconds. Spent a considerable amount of time let's watch Aaron across the line again. Spent an absolutely monstrous amount of time behind the long-time race leader Taz Dalen, but does bring home the checkered flag. Sven-Ole Haas ahead of Taz Dalen. Those 3 on the podium ahead of Boska and Laubitz, who finished ahead of Kastrop, one of the top 2 in the championship. So again, this is all going to change. This is very much going to change the standards for the championship leader. I do believe it will be Vasquez. We'll get a look at that very shortly indeed. As that is updated, we will patiently wait to see how that has played out in the standings. What we can do, so yeah, massive congratulations to the podium drivers. Of course they are driving for some incredible prizes and over an absolutely incredible calendar. We've had Red Bull Ring, Watkins Glen, Fuji and Sebring so far. That was the inimitable Laguna Seca we have just been treated to. And then it is Spa up next for the drivers. Who have all now, as you would expect, left the server. Let me see if we can get up a replay of the start. While we wait on the results to update. No one jumping in to the booth for interviews, so we'll crack on with the prizes. Of course, as I mentioned already, the Cube Controls F Pro Blue. For first place in the series. With the Pagani R pedals for second place and a €500 voucher for third place. It's going to be, as I keep saying, it's going to be all change. I cannot wait to see these updated standings. We will have them momentarily. Thank you very much. That will be Chris, the most patient mentor he hath been. So thank you very much, Chris, for everything. And thank you very much for the raid. Absolutely incredible race. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Yeah, as I say, just waiting on the results to update. I'll see if I can get us a quick replay of the start. And that, yeah, I believe is the first driver we've had with a second race win in the series. The first 4 races. All won by different drivers. Laubich 9th in the standings before today's race with one of those race wins. So yeah, incredibly close throughout of the field. No one jumping into the commentary box for an interview at the moment. Chris, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Bear with me, for some reason my replays will not load. There we go, we'll get that up and running again. Just waiting on the confirmation of the results. Still waiting, of course, on the confirmation of the final 2 tracks of the series. Both to be decided. The 18th of December and the 30th of December. Both of those. They may well, I think it's more maybe a case of they would potentially struggle to understand my extremely overexcitable Scottish accent, Chris. So yeah, more potentially more fear of that. But yeah, all good. But yeah, incredibly close race. And imagine most of the drivers involved there very quickly making their way off to rehydrate after that one. An absolute barn burner of a race. So close, the front 2 rows, as we saw in qualifying, separated by less than a 1/10.5 of a second. Not a massive surprise given the length of the course and the amount of talent on display, but no mean feat nonetheless. I don't know, Chris. I think it's potentially those. There may be some who would argue that you have a much better grasp of the English language than I do. That is for sure. Now, let me see if I can. There there we go, some daytime shots of the race winner. He said confidently there, that's it, all you need is the confidence. There we go. Get some shots of the eventual race winner Vasquez as we wait on the updated standings. Remember, plenty up for grabs at LFM, so many events to sign up for, so make sure you get over there and get yourself signed up. Remember, still 3 rounds of this competition to go, and some absolutely incredible prizes up for grabs. I definitely wouldn't mind that steering wheel and pedals myself, although I do believe they potentially outweigh my talent quite massively. Yeah, some might say a bit of a waste. But yeah, hope your broadcast again, hope you went well for yourself this evening, Chris. So much action on track. We should maybe try and compare and see who caught the most or least overtakes, because yeah, so much going on. And again, the timing's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible in the qualifying, as you would expect. So many cars so close to one another. Good fight, yes indeed. And Vasquez with that pit strategy, absolutely incredible. What was that, about 8 laps earlier than the 8 laps earlier than the rest of the field, and yeah, found himself with a very good lead indeed. Yeah, we'll pop some music on in the background while we wait on the results to update. But yeah, from my understanding, with there only being a 3-point difference, of course we can bring up a look at the rules. You can see 150 points for first, 3 points back for second, and 3 points back again for third place, and then again back to P4. So a 9-point swing for Vasquez, back to Haas. Oh no, sorry, Vasquez and Haas 3 points of a difference. But certainly for Castrop finishing in 5th place. Sorry, outside the top 5, my apologies, it was the Mustang of Laubich. So he's going to jump up a few positions as well, certainly. So it will be interesting to see this one, where this one shakes out. A lot of Ferraris in the championship, and they are going to be leading the championship into the round at Spa. Which car is better at Spa? Which drivers are better at Spa? It's one that's absolutely ingrained in every single sim racer and real racer's DNA, that track. Everyone absolutely knows it inside and out. It's going to be a battle royale between the drivers at the top. But we are still watching Vasquez. Didn't see much of him in the night time. It was incredibly dark as well. No actual racing goes on at night at the real life Laguna Seca. Working on the stand. Yep, no problem at all. We'll get the standards up very shortly indeed. In fact, we could maybe even sneak a quick look and see. It would have been nice if I had done this while I was talking about it. Where are the standings going? So yeah, before this race here, we can see Castrop 6 points ahead of Vasquez, who was 3 points ahead of Haas. These two have scored 3 points of difference again, so it's going to be Vasquez. Another 3 points ahead of Haas. And Kastrop is going to drop down to about 5th position, I believe. So he's going to drop down to Stalin, who led the race for such long periods, for the entirety of the first stint until he came at the pits. And he is in 4th place. A fair bit down, so he's going to close the gap on Kastrop. Not quite overtake him, I don't think. Perhonen and Lenz are going to be there or thereabouts. Bosga with a good top 5 finish as well. Could see his position improve somewhat as well. Something I did actually mean to check as well is the decision process for the final 2 tracks. I couldn't actually see anything on the website for that. I meant to ask. But yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed the race tonight. As I say, back next week for the round at Spa. Then the track still to be decided that I was just asking about there. For the Nitro Concepts Contender Series Season 1. And what a season it has been. 4 race winners in the first 5 rounds. That is how close it is. Up at the top of the field, Vasquez won round 1 and he's just taken round number 5. As the drivers, of course, although the standings aren't working, I've got, after the anticipation, so yeah, no standings unfortunately, having a bit of a technical issue. Technology is a wonderful thing, and there is some wonderful technology there, of course. The F Pro Blue, the Pagani R pedals and the €500 Camus voucher. Some phenomenal technology up for grabs for that one. But that is all we have time for this evening. Unfortunately, a technical hitch, so we can't see the standings before after tonight's race. Here they are from the start of tonight's race. It will be all changed for next week at Spa. It will be myself bringing you all of the action next week as well. My name's John Wright, been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone that has followed this evening. Make sure you jump on to those socials as well. Thank you and congratulations to the race winners this evening. This has been round... Oh yes, of course, Chris is going to start a raid. Of course, I will pop the trailer on when Chris starts the raid up. So yeah, do please stay on board for the raid. Yeah, so we'll get a raid on the go. There we go. With 33 raiders. Do enjoy, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Till then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.